Welcome back to Lap of the World. If you're just now joining us, over the past several videos, we've shipped our Acura NSX to Europe, picking it up in Germany and taking the scenic route to Le Mans in order to drive the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps as part of a multi-day NSX Club Europe and NSX Club UK event. We wrapped up that amazing weekend in the last episode and now pick you up after parting ways with our friends and heading back east, across France and into Belgium. There, we planned to settle down and relax. You know, with a nice spa day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to Spa. I don't get starstruck with people very much, but racetracks may be a little bit of a different story. This is amazing to be out here and actually be kind of, at ground level without a reset button, for better or worse.
While under the double yellow for an orientation lap, I suppose we'll talk a little about where we are. Although Spa-Francorchamps should need no introduction, we'll cover some quick info on this legendary circuit. Located in southeastern Belgium, not far from the border with Germany, racing has happened here since the early 1920s. The track we're driving today stands as a crown jewel of the Formula One calendar, as well as hosting the WEC, MotoGP, and other top-tier racing series. The current layout, a still impressive 4.3 miles, is a condensed version of an old 9-mile street circuit that was, at the time, the fastest and one of the most deadly racing venues in Europe. Indeed, Old Spa was the backdrop against which Formula One took some of its earliest steps towards modern racing safety. Still, even with revisions, impact-absorbing barriers, and runoff space, as dedicated circuits go, Spa falls short of only the green hell itself as a test of guts and skill behind the wheel. Having said that, I'm not here to pit myself against death, I'm here to have fun, so let's go do some driving. My seat time at Spa comes courtesy of a public driving experience, hosted by the track itself. Organizationally, this event stops short of the full rigor involved with a proper driver experience grouped track day as you've seen elsewhere on the channel, but still stood well clear of the utter chaos that is Weekend Touristenfahren at the Nordschleife. That is to say, it's structured, but not without its own mayhem born of unvetted drivers of a wildly different skill being on the track together. With that said, let's pick things up on our first flyer of the day to show you around Spa. Alright, picking this up unscripted from the final chicane, just about where the Formula One pit entrance would be. Now, we weren't using the F1 pits because we're far too poor for that. But everything else about the layout you'll see is the same as what you would see on Belgian GP Sunday. We crossed the start-finish line there, and then we are headed down here into the La Source hairpin. And the next is, of course, I think what everybody wants to know about driving Spa, and that is, what is it like to do Eau Rouge and Raidillon? And the answer is, it is just as pucker-inducing as you could imagine. The camera will not do it justice as far as the degree of elevation change and the compression you're dealing with here, before then going at a borderline uncomfortable pace over the crest of the hill. You definitely need to have your bearings, bearings tight, orientation correct as far as where you are on track and where the track lies over the blind crest there, or it could be very poor. I never worked up to doing it flat, I'll just own that. I did get up to the point of wanting to do it faster than people in front of me and having to lift a little bit to avoid ending up in people's trunks as we come up here at the end of the Kemmel Straight to Lecombe and Malmedy, and I apologize for any pronunciation of these corners because I don't speak a lick of French. This was maybe one of my favorite sections of the track, though, because it was in the meat of the power band for my NSX's long USDM gear set, which meant that I could actually hang with most cars through here. As we then turned down the Brussels horseshoe turn into Speaker's Corner, this is an awkward corner, and it's honestly, every time I've driven this track, and even in a sim, this corner is awkward. I may still just be doing it wrong, but that was my observation. And then double gauche was fun. As I worked up to speed later in the day, we'll show you a quick lap. This is me still kind of trying to find my way around here. But you could sort of set your speed on the way in and then just mat the gas and just flow all the way out to the curbing out here, and then get yourself set up for Le Fan and Campus, I think, is this next session. Again, apologies for the pronunciation, but this I was stuck between gears here, I think, the whole day. Of like, third gear felt not enough torque, but second gear felt like you needed to be up a gear. So the common wisdom is just like, if in question, just stay up a gear and you're probably not going fast enough. And I probably just never got to the point of carrying enough speed through there to make third gear make sense. And then you get on here into the Paul Freire, not a straightaway, but is a straightaway, as we finally dispose of the, oh, those are cool, those Alpine A110s. We don't get those in the States, so it was neat to see one out. But I was up to speed just a little bit quicker than whoever I think was renting those. I think they had some rentals for that. As we come back around here through Blanchemont, and again approaching the chicane under the gantry, and then on the brakes pretty hard to try not to overshoot this and complete our first flying lap at Spa-Francorchamps. So, having officially driven Spa myself now, it's fun to reflect a bit on the company that puts me in. This is not to compare myself against these people, but more just appreciating the tire tracks in which I'm driving. Spa has been on the F1 calendar almost continuously since the inception of the championship, so pick your hero. Fangio, Ascari, Brabham, Hill, Clark, Surtees, Gurney, McLaren, Rodriguez, Fittipaldi, Stewart, Hunt, Lauda, Andretti, Prost, Senna, Mansell, Schumacher, Hakkinen, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, and so on. They've all driven, and many have won here. The view I'm seeing through the windshield and the layout that I'm driving is at least in parts identical to what all of them would have seen, give or take some safety features. For my own part, as I alluded earlier, while I have some favorites, I don't really idolize people in that way, but I do appreciate achievements and history, and Spa has been a stage for a lot of both. So it was fun to soak it in. Philosophy aside for now, and having mostly figured out what I was doing in that first session, I was looking forward to seeing how much I could improve. Sadly, the second session was interrupted when someone yeeted their BMW off just before campus.
Hey, you can't park there!
My third session was then aborted when I felt the unfortunate sensation of a cracked brake rotor, and after thrashing for 30 minutes fighting a sticky caliper to change it, the fourth session that I did make it out for was again cut short by two gentlemen who decided to stop and chat about their Porsche's specs on the exit of La Source. Still, I managed to find at least a little clean air when the second session resumed to try and put together a competent, if not spectacular, lap, which you can see now with some data. And as usual, I would call a 305 in the competent but not spectacular range for a 300 horsepower car on road tires. I'm pretty convinced that I might have threatened the 3-minute mark had I had full use of all of the sessions, but for just about 30 minutes of real-life practice and having to tiptoe through a Rouge to stay out of a Porsche's trunk, I'll take it. If you want to see more laps from Spa, stay tuned for a forthcoming Just the Laps video in which I'll bring you along for full sessions. In between driving, though, at least during the breaks where I wasn't attempting percussive disassembly of a rear caliper, Liz and I chatted up some friendly Canadians there for a day after taking Euro delivery of their Cayman GT4. We then grabbed a hot meal and a cold drink at the Trax restaurant during lunch, and otherwise enjoyed looking around the frankly beautiful grounds and finding the odd spot of shade from which to spectate. This was destination 39 on our lap of the world, and I'd have to put Spa in the top 5 and well up in that order of prettiest tracks that we've been to. That's in spite of a lot of ancillary construction with just 2 weeks to go before the 2025 Belgian GP. This place must be positively pastoral in the shoulder seasons or post-Grand Prix summertime. Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm Richard. This is Lap of the World.
I'm Liz.
That's Liz.
This is the track.
We've enjoyed a spa day today in the Belgian countryside. It was relaxing. It was warm.
I don't know. I'm kind of sore. Is that like a deep tissue massage, or is it just the 40,000 steps that I took
Liz,
today?
It's hilly here. Liz has been backpacking a little bit, and then I've been getting my own kind of massage, and little girl's been getting a little special treatment as well. She got a new rear, was it right rear rotor after a session or two. So yeah. Anyway, no, we're at Spa-Francorchamps, of course. It's been absolutely amazing. This is the end of the day here. You'll see the rest of the day soon.
Or you will have already seen it.
Or you will have already seen it. But we wanted to at least check in and talk to the camera for a second, talk to you guys. And I don't know what actual number track this is. I've lost count with our trip, and depending on if you count Arctic Circle Raceway and Le Mans, but we're getting close to 40, and this is a heck of a step towards that, and definitely one off the bucket list, I think. So
yeah.
But
so I'm sure you will have already seen, or you will see soon, lots more about this track, and we met some cool people, and I got to explore the woods.
Yes.
And climb rocks.
Climb rocks, do all the things around Spa. No, it's a gorgeous facility. It's like actually the grounds here are very nice. The has lots of amenities, which we'll talk about. But speaking of amenities, it's been a long day.
And I want food and maybe some wine.
So step 1, feed the Liz. Step 2, we'll see you in the next video.
And all those tracks you've been there?
Yeah. Actually, this is our next stop with this car. I've driven it in a rental car, but now we got it here. I have to go drive it in my own car.
Of course.